As college graduates, there's no doubt that you're used to success and influencing outcomes with hard work and determination. What valuable traits to have as you begin to navigate through your adult life and your new careers. You see, as you've already experienced to varying degrees, life is full of adversity where those traits I mentioned come in particularly handy. Along with many wonderful moments like college graduation, life is sure to also bring some unexpected disappointments, some setbacks, and some twists that will challenge your ability to persevere. Sometimes we can anticipate them: a failed test, a divorce in our family, a missed job opportunity. And sometimes we can't: an unexpected medical diagnosis, a car accident, or in my case, an extreme example, a bomb. A year ago last April, I was struck by shrapnel from a bomb that was detonated by 2 terrorists at the Boston Marathon. As a result of injury to my left leg, it was amputated below the knee, making me an amputee for the rest of my life. I'd like to tell you about how I came from lying in a hospital bed just over a year ago with a brand new amputation to running the last half mile of the Boston Marathon just about a month ago and standing before you today. Upon reflection on this past year, I've determined that there were 3 major factors that contributed to my successful recovery thus far. And I believe these factors can be applied to other adverse situations that we will all face. I'll point them out to you as I tell you about my story with the hope that you'll be able to use them in your own lives. Last April 15th, on Patriots' Day, celebrated by the state of Massachusetts and referred to by Bostonians as Marathon Monday, I embarked on an annual tradition with 6 of my friends. We headed 90 minutes north to Boston from our homes in Newport, Rhode Island, and went to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox game. In typical fashion, we left a little early to beat the crowds walking over to the finish line, watching runners complete the Boston Marathon. We had planned to meet our friends who lived in the city at the usual spot, a restaurant called Forum, which is just before the finish line. It's usually a fun day, the beginning of spring, and among our last jaunts out of Newport before the tourist season begins in our own seaside city. The 7 of us got split up on our walk over to Forum. While 4 were already inside the restaurant, 3 of us lagged behind and were standing just outside of the front entrance when we heard the first explosion. I turned to the direction of the noise, and I instinctively knew that something was terribly wrong. I saw smoke and people running. I heard screaming. It reminded me of footage I had seen from the 9/11 attacks. But a mere 12 seconds later, before I had a chance to react, I heard a loud popping noise to my right, and I was catapulted from outside on the sidewalk through the front doors of the restaurant by the force from the second bomb, feeling as though my foot were on fire. I was in excruciating pain. I saw blood and glass and smoke everywhere. As I lie on the ground, people were literally running for their lives away from the direction of the bomb and right by me. Luckily, a couple helped and stopped me. Not knowing whether or not another bomb would go off or what would happen next, the couple risked their own lives to help save me and ensure that I got into an ambulance safely. After 3 surgeries and attempts to save my left leg, doctors recommended amputation, which would give me the best chance for resuming the active, independent life that I was used to. 1 week after the bombing, my left leg was amputated below the knee, and I was forced to discover what would be my new normal. That's where the first factor comes in: the ability to recognize and accept what can't be changed. This may be the most difficult one for many. I was an accounting major in my undergraduate studies, and early on, I had expressed an ability to approach situations in a logical manner, which helped out a lot in this situation. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I didn't lie awake some nights, wondering what if, or why me? What if I hadn't been separated from the friends who had already made it inside the restaurant safely? What if we hadn't left the Sox game early? Why did this happen to me when none of my other friends or people surrounding me weren't hurt? After a short period of time of asking myself these questions and realizing that there were no answers, I recognized that going over these proposed scenarios in my head was a pointless activity. What had happened happened, and there was absolutely nothing I could do to change it. I knew that I needed to accept that fact and moved on to figuring out what to do about it. I was never going to get my leg back, so I needed to determine how to get my life back as best I could without it.